I've been working as a director for 20 years. Before that I was an animator, stroke director, making my own short films, and 20 years ago is probably when I first started actually having crews and delegating. But before that I was doing everything. I was effectively producing, directing, writing, animating, artwork. If someone wants to be a director, the most important thing is to have a coherent vision from beginning to end of the project. It means you either tell the story to the best of your abilities and use all your resources to do that consistently, or you are true to the concept. So it's either an idea or a story that's realised as an overall piece, as a cohesive thing. One is the traditional route, which is to work your way up. That means starting out as either a runner or some lowly person on a crew. Nothing but wrong with being a runner. That's a place to start. And you work your way up through becoming an editor or a camera assistant, then becoming a DOP, main editor on a feature, and then you become a director. So you work your way up through the crew. That's the traditional way of doing it. The other way, that has happened in the past, but is now more frequent, is to start off making your own films and create your own distinctive voice. So you're proving yourself as a director with very limited means. So that you can be at art college and you can have created films that show you're already a very strong storyteller. You've got a very clear voice and command of the craft and an ability to talk to all the different departments and get good work out of them and be able to delegate. That used to be more difficult because you needed, the tools were expensive, so you needed to have access to expensive film equipment. Now, because it's easy to get hold of decent filmmaking kits, people can do it, either go to college or do it on their own. My advice for an aspiring director looking for a job when there is so much competition in the marketplace is to touch two bases, to be able to do a coherent story, show narrative skills, show that solidity, but then also do it with your own voice. Either be able to do it in terms of your distinctive cinematic style that illuminates the story, or have access to storytelling content that's unusual. You might be a documentary filmmaker and go to a country where you come from or something like that and be able to have access to a certain kind of content that no one else would have. Or you're making fiction films, but you're making a thriller in a specific way that's more dramatic or thrilling than other people can do at that level. If someone wants to make a film or animation, the three key things are good story, an understanding of your resources, the time and money that you have to spend on this project, and that you are actually going to be able to finish it, and you're actually going to be able to finish it as a unified piece, rather than just getting one nice shot and then having to do the rest as a scramble. The third thing is to think of how this project is going to work in the marketplace, how it's going to stand out, and what's going to be unique about it, and why your film is going to stand out compared to all the other millions that are being uploaded to YouTube and sent into production companies all the time. My day as a director fluctuates wildly. If I'm on a live action shoot, it starts very early, because you have to be there for like 7:30 or 8, and you've been working late the night before preparing, then you're turning over hopefully by about 9 or half 9, and then the day can go on till, well, these days, with video and stuff, it can go late, it can go late into the evening. You can be going to 8 or 10 at night, so that's working with the crew with a couple of breaks and food and stuff. Other times it's quite loose. You can get up late and then it's a matter of looking at emails, seeing what's come in, you're developing scripts, talking through pitches, keeping tabs on your contacts. If it's on animation, you're starting about half 9 or 10, and you're either animating or storyboarding yourself, or you're coming into a studio and working with a crew and testing, seeing how the renders are going and how that's slotting into an edit. And you can also be checking in with the sound designers and the post on the production. My most substantial project to date would have to be the Ultramarines movie, which was a full-length feature based on Games Workshop's very popular Warhammer franchise. It was my debut as a feature film director, which was very exciting. We had lots of great resources on the film. It used facial capture. That was very exciting because we had great actors like Terence Stamp, John Hurt and Sean Pertwee, and Johnny Harris, some very strong character actors like Stephen Wallington and Dawn Sumter. So we had the live action aspect, that's the facial capture, then we had the CGI, and it was all put in this kind of painterly, matte painted universe. It was a great kind of action story as well, which is something which was nice because I've worked a long time in commercials to sort of make a living, and that always has to be very kind of safe and careful, and this was very kind of violent and action film. And that was it. That was a different area. A dramatic film, and it's broken into features, and it was a pretty intense schedule. We turned the whole 80-minute movie around in 14 months, but we got it done, and it looks good. It's led on to me. I've done a low-budget live-action feature, a horror film, and I am attached to other live-action features and other kind of CGI fantasy projects, which is all good in the direction I want to go in. So that's been a big project for me.